Let's give them the raw version. Recap for today. It's the 18th, soon to be the 19th, as you see here. But let's go for it. So, coming into the market, we can see a few things come to play. I already have my bias for bearish. That's number one. So I should be looking for selling trades. Number two, we disrespected this bullish order fair value gap from yesterday. So I'm expecting us to be bearish off of that, right? Off that confluence. So what are we targeting? Daily lows. That's the general push for the day. We should be targeting down there. If not, oh well. On top of that, what happens when we see daily lows? We can probably retrace to some imbalance. So scaling to the 4 hour, right? I'm like, all right, we disrespected. What are we possibly pushing into? 4 hour low, 4 hour low, 4 hour low. All our sell side liquidity. You see what's price do? Taps into the first sell side liquidity and then reacts. And this is already by 2 p.m. session. So PM session you could have got your actually. I was trying to, and I'll explain this later on what was going on. Anyways, we're pumping down, right? What was our reason for this pump over here? We're dumping. And what was the reason for this dump? Well, multiple things, right? First of all, we swept this high. And on top of this high being swept, then we broke downside. Of course, we disrespected that daily fair value gap around here, and then that's what happened. So, just because of that sweep. Hourly, it could be a little more technical and say we swept this high. Going on into, what's this, PM session of 2 days ago. But that's not the point, right? This is the candle that created the dump. And this was all done over the entire day of the 17th until PM, and then this is reverses. Why? Go to our left out. We tapped into this hourly order block for value gap. We just sweep these lows right around here, but we didn't sweep these. I'm not taking an entry. Right? We didn't know it was gonna reverse. Anyways, price comes around for today, the 18th, and we can see, all right, what is our current structure of market coming into the 8 o'clock candle? This is our 8 o'clock. What did we do? Well, we had buy side liquidity here marked on the 15-minute. Hold on, right there. And up here, so I was like, all right, if we potentially do sweep him, I have this guy to target. And if we don't sweep any of these and we dump, I could target all these sell sides for something, right? Now coming into remember the bias, I want to pump one of the buy sides. So we had an hourly high right here that we created. It disrespects, and also we had this high making equal lows, not sweep but equal lows. So I'm like, all right, cool, or wherever we get a sweep, I'll probably react off of. Market opens on this candle. We swept the high, we see. On top of that, we, like I said, equal lows with this high. But we still swept some high, right? So we swept. Big displacement was great, fair value gap. Now, if you were trading the 15-minute, you could have targeted this and put a TP on him and probably scale even lower out and find another low target. That was my case. I saw price dump off of market open. Now remember, I take trades around the 950 macro. So I'm saying, all right, what happens? What happens with price over here, right? What do? We take out this liquidity, this liquidity, this liquidity, this liquidity, and barely tap into him. Would I have taken this trade? Really? Not really, but I wanted to just observe and see what would happen. So I said, all right, we took a multiple time sweep. What do we have now? We have this displacement. If I scale to the 5-minute, pull out the premium discount, somewhere around this line, I want us to push into something. So what do we have? An order block we could target, and potentially it's for value gap if we disrespect the order block or this high, right? Moving on further, I scale into the 1-minute. All right, we have that displacement of the 5. There's nothing really giving me anything. Let's see what the 1-minute gives us. Okay, what literally happens on the 1-minute? Sweep lows. We create the market structure shift. You could take an entry here and target one of these for value gaps if you really want to, if you're doing such a low time frame. What I saw was I saw a sweep, I saw a big displacement, right? The only thing I can really see, right, because we had this 1-minute displacement here, was okay, somewhere around here we want price to give us something. This is probably like the best for value gap to really target because it's out of our range and it's in the premium. And that's good because short interest is in the area still. So this order block is probably going to be our target fully. But we pump down, I see, okay, well, we have this time for value gap, but disrespect it, so I know we're kind of bullish. I'm looking at what this price do. Disrespects it, completely sweeps lows, okay, pumps aggressively. I'm like, all right, cool, what do we create for value gap? Now remember, we were sweeping multiple lows, so we have lows swept. We swept lows literally again right here. Displacement for value gap. Wait for candles to draw into it. Would create a buy side liquidity. Pull down into the fair value gap. Target the buy side liquidity. 21 to 10. I've risked about 500 for $1,000. Closed at 300, and that's where I am here. Right now, moving on further. We approach PM session. So when it comes to PM, what I like to do is usually the 5 minute. I already had, remember, my liquidity zones drawn out, so I can understand if we swept a credible one, which we do right here. We sweep both of them, and this one's really the main one that reacts. This guy does, and you can catch this, but this is 10:45. I mean, at this point, just don't trade this one, trade this guy. So come down, we sweep this low. This is the 4-hour second low I marked right there. Didn't tap the full low, but the 4-hour one, yes. Alright, sweep it. What do I see out of here? Alright, imbalance. Mark it out. What does this tell us? This is probably going to be our best fair value gap, possibly this guy together. So our fair value gap should have been these two. Right? Cool. Price draws into it. What did I do? I saw a reaction here, scaled in. As soon as we drew into that 5 minute fair value gap, right, I scaled down. When I scaled down, what am I trying to take? A trade that would target some sort of downside liquidity, right? So here you go. Oops. Okay. So what do we have? Drawn into it. What did it create? What's for value gap? We respected it. Okay. Remember, we're looking for sells, so I'm looking. Bam, we disrespected for value gap. Okay, what do we create? This high. What can I say that happens? I want to see us come into something, right? I want to see us react to a fair value gap. On top of us creating the IFVG here, I want to see us react to a fair value gap. Okay. What happens? Nothing. It pumps, it pumps, it pumps, it pumps, it pumps. Pumps into this area. Okay. Let's see what happens. Bam! Big displacement. Second of all, we disrespected the entirety of these fair value gaps, and these are credible ones, right? They're bullish ones, so our big displacement, right? Now, I want to take a trade in short and target these lows. Well, what happens? I got stopped out. Why? Let's talk about it. From this big displacement, where is our premium? This fair value gap. Bro. This fair value gap and this one, right? So, I want to see a candle react to one of these two. They didn't close reacting to either. This guy didn't even tap into the fair value gap. So why would I enter? On top of that, this literally tapped sell side liquidity, right? Big displacement, disrespect. What is our target after disrespecting the sell side liquidity? What happens? Respect sell side liquidity. Where are we going? One of these retracements. If we disrespect them, buy side liquidity. What happens? We sweep buy side, right? Okay. We're respecting this for value gap. We pump higher, right? So ignoring this trade because I was impatient. Alright, let's delete that now. Alright, pumping higher. Cool, we swept buy side. What do I want to see us do now? Show a bearish confirmation. What do we create here? In this area, I want to see us disrespect this order block. Do we disrespect? Yeah, we do. And what do we reach into? Kind of here, but this doesn't really matter anymore. Right? Yeah, doesn't really matter anymore. What do? We create displacement. What do we disrespect? Multiple for value gaps. This order block that's in the discount region. As you see, the candle close below. All right, so what am I gonna look for here now? All right. Well, we disrespected. We swept lows, and we tapped into this fair value gap right here. So now what the price is gonna do? Draw into the next area, and I mark this out. What's our drawn liquidity in this area? This fair value gap and this guy. Make that big box, right? I mean, minimize you, so it's on the way. Make this big box of both fair value gaps here. What does price do? Chops, right? Here, I'll just mark this out for you guys. Sweep, and we react into this really good discount fair value gap. Pump, draw into these two. Where can I take my entry? The moment I see a weakness in the candle, right? So would I take an entry off of you? Possibly. But in the end of the day, if I am, what am I targeting still? It won our trade. Why? Because I want to have price potentially, it could go up or potentially it won't. If I want to see price, give me something, right? So what I see, it draws into it, reacts, and from there you can even use a lower time frame. Sometimes I like to mix around with the 30-second. The 30 is really my best friend when it comes to 1 and 30. They're like best mates. You could do 15-minute. I heard that's also really good. But you can see here really what happens, right? We do the sweep, we react, boom. Okay. Does this 3-second candle tell you that we're gonna keep going higher or lower? Probably higher, because it doesn't really show a bullish close. Higher, and then what happens here? These three together can tell you time to go short. Say I entered on this red guy. Still 32. What am I targeting? Go back to the 1 minute. Remember that 1 minute for value gap? We could target that, or I could target this 1 minute lower here. And that's literally the trade. So lesson learned, wait for candle closure, and once we approach a confluence, my final confluence, which is usually what happens, we want a sweep of a high time frame or something, a draw on liquidity of that time frame. Understand that the higher bias is telling us this, right? Once we get into that area, I like to scale down to the 1 or 5, depending on what's going on, right? Like over here, you saw what happened. What I marked out this 5-minute high we did sweep. I mean, it was also a 15-minute sweep. If you look over here, right? 15-minute, usually 1 hour, 4 hour sweeps. I'm looking for confluences. I'm looking for based off of that. Here I had to take this because yes, we're in our zones, but what is price going to draw into this big imbalance? Same thing here. What I see, big imbalance. What's price drawing into? If I mark this out off the 5, you see what did we create? This line here. We were already seeing that we swept multiple lows off the 15-minute here. I mean the 5 too. So I mean I don't even know what I can really say about that, but yeah. So 5 minutes usually when I come later in after market open and we're not really having a clear bias of what's going on. Otherwise, yeah. Notes to self: wait for candle close, and use the 30-second on top of the 1 minute when we're approaching a confluence for good price action to understand what's going on. Other than that, these trades were valid, and I have to commit to my risk. I'm sick and tired of me, sitting here risking 500 and jumping around when it doesn't go my way. Like, I understand it can kill up the psychology, but I'm only closing out of my stop loss if the candle closes. I'm not going to have a bigger stop loss because I'm afraid that price is going to sweep my stop loss and then pump, right? I'm going to have, if my stop loss is this, I'm going to sit there and watch it. I'm not going to let it run and just, it's out, I'm out. I'm not going to preset it because every time I preset it, it made me lose. I'd rather sit there and just let it be. Maybe I might do set and forget, who knows. But getting stopped out 4 times and having the trade run your way is not the way to go. And I'd rather just sit there and watch it and then say, okay, count close, alright, I'm out. 500 lost, maybe 600, maybe 700, oh well. I try to manage the risk and that's what got me. Right, so yeah, same thing here, like I said, what did we do? I saw a sweet 15-minute, saw us with a bearish momentum, right? Now, why did I take this long? Because I saw there was an imbalance, right? What is our potential imbalances after the sweep? Well, probably want to target this order block. Maybe this for a value gap here. And this was actually a trade TGR took, but he didn't use the 1 minute as a confluence, and that's his fault. And I was more strictly on the 1 minute. And then what did I saw from here? I'm marked out. Nothing. Oh, here's our guy, right? Maybe I want to be up here. There's our guy. So, like I said, it really depends. Not the bigger one, had the smaller draws, target, bam, trade done. And I just wanted buy side too. I wanted that little 2-minute trade. So yeah, we're gonna not be so afraid next time. We're gonna risk our 500. I'm sick and tired of being scared of it. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. Oh well, I'm gonna buy another account if I fail. I could probably afford one more before I really have to back away from it and let my bank account be. And that should cover all the summer of me trying to pass this. And then if that doesn't work, well, I get a job. And from there, make money, try this again, repeat.
And don't worry, I'm gonna be working evening so I can actually trade market open. But other than that, yeah, looks like I could probably risk another 50, maybe two more counts. But it should not even be this much already. See, the thing is, I'm not even failing it, which is a good thing. I have good risk management. It just comes to time, and I've been jumping around break even, lose, win, but I'm not following my RR. I'm just winning a trade, and that's the issue. So that's it. 2 RR, risk 500, and take it, dude. That's it. Hopefully tomorrow's a good day and gives us something good. I mean, it's a Friday. But yeah, this is the recap.